Good morning once again. This is week 13, so this will be our third session, the third and final session for the semester, and we will continue the discussion on transnational crime. So to kickstart our session for today, we have Sylvia Ellison representing a group. Sylvia, please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. Okay, so our question for this week is, according to Watson, Salsa Santos, and House, why do PNG and other Pacific Island countries and territories rely more heavily on external partners to enhance their organizational capacity to address transnational and organized crime? This is our answer. The fight against transnational and organized crime presents a unique set of challenges for Pacific Island countries and territories. While discussions on this topic often focus on the surface, a deeper dive reveals a complex web of factors that necessitate reliance on external factors. Here's a breakdown of the key issues faced by Pacific Island countries and territories. Number one is geography and limited resources. Imagine vast stretches of ocean dotted with the small scattered islands. This is the reality of the region, making maritime borders notoriously porous and difficult to patrol. Limited populations further strain resources, making it challenging to adequately equip and train law enforcement, according to McLeod 2009. Number two, high risk, high reward for criminals. The factors that make up patrolling difficult for authorities, vast distances and limited resources, create a haven for criminal activity. Transnational crime rings find the region attractive due to the low risk of detection and potential for high profits. Number three, inadequate legal frameworks. Many Pacific Island countries and territories struggle with outdated legal systems that don't encompass the full spectrum of modern day crimes. This lack of comprehensive legislation hinders effective prosecution and enforcement as outlined by Schlonard 2009. Number four is overwhelmed security services. Even for well-resourced organizations, tackling transnational and organized crime is complex. For under-resourced Pacific Island countries and territories, the burden is even greater. Police forces, customs agencies, and immigration services are often stretched thin, struggling to keep pace with the evolving criminal landscape. And finally, regional initiatives and capacity building. While a dialogue between Pacific Island countries and territories has highlighted these challenges, the question remains, how can they effectively respond? Regional discussions emphasize the need for capacity development across security services. However, for this to be successful, it needs to be led by Pacific Island countries and territories. There has to be a nuanced approach. That is the key. Effective solutions require thorough understanding of each Pacific Island country and territory's existing capabilities and limitations. A one-size-fits-all approach from external partners won't suffice. Tailored capacity building programs that address specific needs and build upon existing strengths are crucial. In conclusion, the crime, limited resources, and inadequate legal frames force Pacific Island countries and territories to rely on external partners. However, for a sustainable solution, capacity development should be led by Pacific Island countries and territories themselves, with external partners providing support and expertise that builds upon the region's unique strengths. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia, and thank you as well to your group. I hope many of you, after you graduate next year, you'll think about joining the PNG Royal Constabulary and PNG Defence Force, and also contribute towards addressing transnational criminal activities in our country. It's becoming a really big issue, and we do not have the capacity and as well the intellectual capacity to address. We're depending on external our partners, Australia, and New Zealand, and the US. And it shows that our policymakers and bureaucrats, technocrats, they are unable to, even our political leaders as well. There has to be political will in order to address this issue. Our leaders are not really doing much to combat that, come up with new laws and legislation policies. So hopefully people are the next generation of leaders who inherit the problem and try to find a solution. Now let's listen to Mr. Laba. After Patrick, we have Amy Lee. So Amy Lee, please get ready. Sorry, please, Patrick, can you unmute? You're still on mute, so we can't hear what you say. Anybody sitting next to Patrick, can you tell him to unmute his microphone? And he has to start all over again. Yes, he's in his room or somewhere, or in the classroom. Patrick, you have to unmute your microphone. We cannot hear what you're saying. Oh, okay, that's good, Patrick. Now you you have unmuted your microphone. But is your microphone working or? Okay, looks like it's not working. Maybe we'll give you time to troubleshoot and fix your microphone while we move on to Emily, and then we'll come back to you. Oh, okay, now it's working.
Is it is it working?
Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry, you will need to repeat the answer, your answer to the question. Sorry to.
Oh, can I present again?
Yes, start again, please.
Okay. Sorry everyone for this really paragraph, yeah. Okay. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I will be representing group 7 for this week discussion. So the question for this week is, why do Watson, Susa Santos, and Howes emphasize the importance of aligning international legal instruments with domestic legislation in PNG? Watson, Susa Santos, and Howes emphasized the importance of aligning international legal instruments with domestic legislation in PNG because it is crucial for effectively addressing transnational and organized crime in the region. So here's some 5 frameworks that Watson, Santos, and Howes has emphasized on. The first one is enhanced legal framework. Aligning this framework aligns domestic legislation with key international legal instruments to provide a more robust legal framework for combating transnational crimes and organized crime. So this alignment ensures that countries like PNG have the necessary legal tools and mechanisms to investigate, prosecute, and punish offenders engaged in such activities. The second one is improve enforcement. When domestic laws are aligned with international standards, law enforcement agencies are better equipped to tackle cross-border crimes. It facilitates cooperation and coordination between different countries, law enforcement agencies, and allowing for more effective investigation and prosecution of criminals who operate across borders. The third one is closing legal loopholes. By aligning domestic laws with international standards, countries like PNG can close legal loopholes that might be exploited by transnational criminal organizations. This helps in preventing criminals from taking advantage of jurisdictional gaps or inconsistencies in legal frameworks. The fourth one is facilitating international cooperation. International cooperation in combating transnational crimes relies heavily on the compatibility of legal systems. When domestic legislation aligns with international standards, it becomes easier for countries to operate in areas such as extradition, mutual legal assistance, and information sharing, thereby strengthening the collective responses to transnational crime. The fifth one is the capacity building and development. Aligning domestic legislation with international standards often involves capacity building and institutional development. It requires training law enforcement officers, prosecutors, and judges on the relevant laws and procedures, as well as building institutional capacity to effectively implement and enforce these laws. To sum up this discussion, aligning international legal instruments with domestic legislation in PNG is essential for combating transnational and organized crime effectively. It provides a solid legal foundation, enhances enforcement capabilities, and closes legal loopholes, and facilitates international cooperation and contributes to capacity building and institutional development in the fight against crime. That's all. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Lama, for a very interesting answer. Now let's listen to Emily. since we are running out of time. Thank you, Patrick, once again in the group. Emily, please go ahead. Like Emily is having technical issues. Let's use next on the list. Antonia, can we listen to you first while we wait for Emily? Antonia's microphone is not working, so she'll be using yes, okay, then she can use your laptop, Miss Charlotte. Then.
Put it to unmute your video. No, unmute as well. Okay, it's already on.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Antonia.
Okay. So as is which actors or agencies participate in the 2-year investigation of drug imports PNG Australia? According to Watson, South Santos, and Howes, a 2-year investigation into drug imports from Papua New Guinea to Australia involved close collaboration between the Australian Federal Police, led Criminal Assets Confiscation Task Force, and PNG authorities, particularly the PNG Police. This partnership resulted in the sale of over 500 kilograms of cocaine valued at 58 million US dollars, and the arrest of members of the Melbourne-based criminal syndicate linked to Italian organized crime. So the drugs seized a small crash near Port Moresby, suspected of being involved in drug selling from Queensland, Australia. The AFP and PNG police tracked the aircraft movements and planned to control delivery of the cocaine. However, the plane crashed before reaching Australia. Nonetheless, AFP officers apprehended 5 members of the syndicate in Melbourne. The cooperation between AFP and PNG authorities has been commended, highlighting the importance of such partnership in combating transnational crime. Those arrested in Australia face potential life imprisonment. Despite commendable efforts by PNG police, concerns persist about the involvement of influential individuals in PNG in regional drug smuggling networks. PNG's weak border security has made it a transit point for trafficking to Australia and New Zealand. Thank you, and that concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you, Antonia, and your group. We'll move on to the next presenter, Bridget. Bridget, please share with us your answer.
Good morning, everyone. So our question reads, according to Watson, Salsa Santos, and Howes, what specific resources is PNG actively utilizing to address high-risk threats to the region? Firstly, let us identify the high-risk threats. It includes issues of migration, environmental problems, law and order problems, poverty, natural disasters, and climate change. These are high-risk threats that affect a particular country or region. Now, to answer the question, PNG lacks the necessary resources to address the high-risk threats to the region, particularly with its police and defense force. It is supported by Boswell 2010. Many smaller countries across the region lack the capacity to conduct investigations and intelligence gathering, and some outlying islands and villages have limited immediate access to local police. Due to that reason, PNG has engaged with Australia to help build its police capacity to combat high-risk threats and reduce law and order issues within the country. Put et al. 2018 states, police capacity development programs have been ongoing in Pacific Island in PICTs for many years. These programs have primarily involved deployment of Australian and New Zealand police to PICTs to act in an advisory capacity or work alongside. Pacific Police to develop leadership skills and deliver general and specialized education and training. Large-scale programs such as the Regional Assistant Mission to Solomon Islands have also included police from fellow CITs. However, PNG has also actively utilized the few resources by engaging in programs like one, financial preparedness programs like Pacific Insurance and Climate Adaptation Program to improve resilience towards climate change and natural hazards. Two, nature hazard approaches for rural community protection, including natural infrastructure like seawalls and coastal revegetation. Three, disaster risk reduction projects such as the Papua New Guinea National Disaster Risk Framework 2007 to 2030. And for cybersecurity initiatives like Papua New Guinea signed a new cyber cooperation agreement with Australia to pave the way for deepened cooperation to build cyber resilience in support of a safe, secure, and prosperous PNG, Australia, and Indo-Pacific region. These efforts aim to enhance resilience, preparedness against various threats in the region. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget, for sharing with us your answer. If you have any questions for Bridget, for Patrick, or for Sylvia, share in our discussion forum for this week. And it will close on Sunday for your information. So make sure you share whatever questions or comments you have for the three of them. Our next presenter is Ms. Pius. And after Ms. Pius, we'll go back to Emily. Also, if you have questions or comments for Antonia, you can share in our discussion forum. Ms. Pius, please go ahead, sorry.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Our question for this week is, according to Watson, Sousa Santos and ours, why did officers from the PNG Customs publicly express concerns about the incapacity of the country's law enforcement agencies to prosecute drug cases in PNG? Referenced in the Development Bulletin 82 on Perspectives on Pacific Security, Future Currents, Watson, Sousa Santos, and ours talked about the transnational and organized crime in Pacific Island countries and territories. Police capacity to respond to the emerging threat, which they highlighted the answer to our given question, noting that PNG customs officers raised concerns publicly in 2016 about the inability of the PNG's law enforcement agencies to prosecute drug cases in PNG was because of weak legislation. Broadly stated in the same article on page 151, the reasons of weak legislation in PNG is tailored to financial, administrative, and staff challenges that have prevented the development of national drug control measures in PNG. Weak legislation by law enforcement agencies is the result of the government and organizations' non-prioritization and low prioritization of transnational crimes. Another reason to weak legislation is that these crimes are not yet formally identified in legislation, which hinders the law enforcement officers' ability to respond. For this reason, PNG is one of the countries that does not have jurisdiction on specific illicit drugs until recently in 2021, when the government was prompted by the plane with cocaine incident. Thank you, and that's all from Group 1.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pius and Group 1. We'll go back to Emily, but looks like she's not online. Is she with anyone from the group at this point in time? And Will she be using your computer to present? Group members, group 6. No group 6 members, on Timo, Sofia, on Habib and Turian. All right, if that is the case, then we'll stop here. We'll stop here and then I'll let you people go and can use the remaining time to participate in the forum, share your comments and questions in relation to those who have presented today, so you complete the activity. So this is our final activity for the second assessment task out of 6%. So we've already collected 54%, and this activity is the final one, 6%, that will make up 60% of your internal. So after Sunday, I'll start to tally and then put together your marks out of 60% and send you your marks. So you can check I'll send a tally and marks out of 6%, but for 60%, you can work out in your grade book. Check your grade book to see your mark out of 60% by end of next week, week 14. The other talk hour is in regards to week 14 and 15. For the scheduled period, our class period during week 14 and 15 as per the timetable, I'll try to organize guest lectures. So once I confirm the availability of our guest online lecturers, then I'll let you people know and I'll create a meeting link and advise you people. I know many of you will be busy during this period for your presentations and all that, but if you have time, please do attend. But I'll record and share in the Moodle, in our Moodle ebook. All right, so week 14 to 15 during the class period, I'll try to organize online guest lectures about cybersecurity, transnational crime, etc. And the SMEC or social media awareness campaign will start next week, week 14, but some of you have already started. That's good. It's up to you people. And now you manage the group. And this afternoon, we'll have our strategy presentations. And that is as per the marking criteria. So if you attend and if you present, then you get 1 mark allocated for presentations as per the marking criteria. And there's a question from Bridget. Is the security analysis due on Sunday? Yes, I think so. Let us confirm by viewing the marking criteria. What does it say? Security analysis on blog published before week 14. So Sunday is the last day of week 13. So you have to publish before week 14. So it's due on Sunday or today, Saturday, or anytime this week, whenever you are done with the write-up, then you can submit on your blog and then I'll check to see and mark accordingly. All right, so Sunday is the final day. You do not submit on Sunday and you submit on Monday, then you have to apply for special consideration. Because I would mark your analysis, which is 16% the highest compared to all the other segments of the assessment task. All right, so make sure you tell your group members and you put your write-up together and submit on Sunday. It's only 1,000 words, it's not 3,000 or 4,000 words. So I'm sure all of you are capable of handling the word count and the pressure as a group. Okay, so these are my 3 talk service. Before I let you people go. Tanisha is asking. Tanisha is asking, do all group members have to be present for the SMEC presentation? No, only I mean, if you all want to attend, that's fine with me, but if you have things to do, Then your group rep can present, and we'll do the recording and then share with everybody, share with everyone on Moodle. So if you are busy and if you have a representative and you want that representative to present, that's fine with me. You can present during the 10 minutes period allocated to each group, and then the other 10 minutes we'll ask questions. If I have questions, I'll ask and then seek clarification from the representative, and then after that we'll conclude it. Yeah, so it's not compulsory for all of you to attend this afternoon. If you have other things to do, you can prioritize that. But if you do attend, that's good. And the important thing is your representative must attend and present in order to get the one back that's allocated for presentation. So if you look at the marking criteria presentation, the first bullet point says presentation of social media awareness campaign strategy to facilitator via Zoom or MS Teams in week 13 during the student consultation period. Yeah, so if your group rep represents the group, that's fine. He or she can present and you get one mark for that part of the marking criteria. So it's not compulsory for everyone to attend, but it's compulsory for the one representing the group, the presenter representing the group. I hope that's clear, Tanisha. Imtasul, any more questions before I let you go? We'll see each other in the afternoon again. So I guess by now you're tired of seeing my face every time on Zoom. Any more questions, comments, or questions for clarification? So you all know what to do this afternoon. We have our strategy presentation from 2:30 onwards. Sunday, the closing time for security analysis submission on your blog. And then next week we start the social media awareness campaign, and our final activity for assessment task 2 will end on Sunday as well. Your participation in the discussion forum, Q&As, questions and comments or questions and answers. All right, so if there are no questions or comments, I'll let you people go. And you all have a great day today. And thank you, a big thank you to all the presenters who presented in our final session. I hope you've learned something in all the sessions that we have had so far. The recordings are in our book, Moodle book. The video recordings and the audios are in the various discussion forums. So if you want to go over what we've discussed and just get more information or insight into the issues that we have discussed, then you can listen to the audio or watch our videos. And like I said, all of you are future leaders of this country, and these security issues are very important, whether you work in the communication space, journalism, or you work with the NGOs, or you join the provincial or national government in a government department. You have to make sure you understand the security issues and also work well to find solutions to the many security problems that we face today in our country. So that's to do with transnational crime, cyber security, climate change, and the threat of China, and all other security issues that are listed in the national security policy. And for your information, the revised national security policy was approved, as well as the formation of the National Security Agency last week, so by NEC, and they'll start creating the National Security Agency, and they'll implement a new revised national security policy. So I'll keep an eye on that, and if they're hopefully by next year they'll start their recruitment. So if that happens, then I'll let you people know so you can try apply for jobs. All right. Okay, and that's all. You all have a great day and see you again this afternoon. Bye for now.